Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Sorry, I didn't have a video yesterday because I've been transmuting some very heavy energy. You might be in the same position that I am, going through similar things. Sorry, there's construction next door and I just paused because I thought it was something in the house. But anyway, ever since the 11/11 portal, I've been extremely tired. And then today I was hit with a big bout of anger, and that's very rare for me. I'm not an angry person, so I've been transmuting that. So maybe you are similar. I'm working through some energies right now. So let's see. So anyway, this is going to be your tarot reading for today. May this find the right person at the right time. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Spirit guides, come in. Tell the collective what they need to know. What is it that the collective needs to know today? Okay, Spirit, give me a signifier card for who has been called here today. You know, because of all of this emotion that I've been experiencing, I feel called to tell you, like, listen to your body, you know, listen to the emotions that you're experiencing. They're there for a reason, right? And if you don't experience them, you're just going to get stuck in the emotion, right? So listen to your body. You know, like if you're tired, you know, take the day off as much as you can and rest. Because otherwise, you know, you're never going to kick it. You're just going to keep getting tired and more tired, and it's not going to stop. Okay, let's get a signifier card, Spirit. Two of Swords. Upright. You have a decision to make. Maybe you know what that decision is. Maybe it's something that you've been thinking about. Torn between two different options. And, you know, the wisdom of this card is always to listen to your emotion. Listen to your intuition. The moon in the corner, right? She's blindfolded. So the key is always to trust your gut. Trust what's going to make you happy. King of Pentacles. I also pulled this card for me this morning. And so, you know, I do think, so this decision that you're making had to do with finances. Maybe a job. It could be, I do feel, because like the King of Pentacles is like the ruler. So you're thinking of like making a big, maybe financial decision. Maybe a pivot in your life, like whether to move out from someone, from maybe a relationship that's no longer serving you, whether to move to a new city, whether to take a job offer. Yeah, Two of Cups in reverse. This was coming out when I was shuffling the cards. So I do think, you know, this card also came out in the last reading I did for the channel. So, you know, moving past traumatic relationships. And with the Two of Swords and the King of Pentacles and the Two of Cups, I do think this has to do with a relationship. Some poor relationship, you know, something toxic where you don't feel fulfilled, where maybe you're being taken advantage of. And Spirit is saying, you know the right answer. And the right answer is to leave. Say bye to these people, you know? To put up emotional boundaries if you aren't in a position where you want to put up physical boundaries. You know, maybe you live with them. But it's time to face the truth, to sit in your King of Pentacles energy, which is all about you have everything you need, right? You can fulfill yourself. Don't stay in relationships, stay in dysfunctional environments because you're afraid that you won't be taken care of financially, that you won't have a home, that you won't have food or a source of income. You're being taken care of. You know, this is upright. The Spirit wants to emphasize that you have everything. You have abundance, right? The money will come and find you as long as you trust, as long as you have faith and keep in that abundant mindset. So I really feel like if this video found you, you're contemplating a tough decision about a relationship, but you know what the answer is. Yeah, Queen of Swords, put up those boundaries. The Queen of Swords also is the card for me for Athena, and I work with Athena, so maybe you do too, but Athena is saying, like, make that hard decision. Be a hard ass. If you need to be, like, you're not being a jerk. Like, moving away from relationships that are no longer serving you. You know, putting up boundaries, physical boundaries, emotional. Maybe it's like, you know, I don't know, like, I need space for this portion of the day. Or, you know, please don't touch me unless I give you permission to, right? Like, they can be perceived as being like a hard ass, as being maybe rude, but it's not rude to set your own boundaries. That's like codependency that's trying to get that, trying to sneak its way, right? To make you feel bad, to push you back into people pleasing. So, you know, the Queen of Swords, she is not afraid to tell it how it is. She is not afraid to speak her truths, right? To, you know, beckon people, like she's beckoning the people up, like the people in your life are being lined up, and you are beckoning them forward to address the Queen, which is you, to tell them exactly what's been going on, exactly how you've been feeling, and how you want to how you want to move on, right? What changes are you going to be implementing in your life for that relationship moving on? And also, like, she will show you the way, right? As long as you lead with your authenticity, with your truth, the path will be illuminated for you. And if you can see, she has like butterflies on the throne as well as on her crown. So the truth is liberating. The truth is transformative. You know, it's always for the best. When you speak your truth, it always leads to change for the best. And change and conflict can be difficult, but it's important, right? It's that moment of flux, that moment of allowing there to be truth, for the truth to be out there, allowing for vulnerability and conflict if need be, like a difficult conversation, but it always leads to change for the better. Always. Yeah, Ace of Cups in reverse. These things are not serving you. You're going to have new environments that do pour into your cup. And currently, in regards to this relationship, you're not listening to your intuition. Right? Jesus or God or Spirit is trying to come in and, like, I feel like you are so good by yourself. Like, you are emotionally regulated. You take care of yourself. You know, you honor your inner child. Like, you watch the TV shows you want to watch. You, like, you know, pay attention to your health, but you also, like, know that life is to be enjoyed. So you eat good food. You take the time that you need for yourself. You're not afraid to sleep. And this person who is forcing you into this decision is getting in the way of that, is sucking you dry. Maybe they are like a narcissist. Maybe they're an energy vampire. And you naturally, your cup overfloweth. You naturally are so happy and so fulfilled when you're in your own energy. So don't be afraid to be in that energy. Don't be afraid to go it alone, because you're never really alone, right? You always have the universe. You always have spirit. I also like to say that, like, you're also never alone, because there's always insects in the room with you. Like, there's insects, they're ubiquitous, they're everywhere. Like, there's a spider in the room with you right now. And if you're afraid of spiders, I'm sorry, but spiders are, like, also the basis of, they perform a very key feature in the environment, right? They eat gnats, they eat flies, they eat mosquitoes. So you're never alone. You always have millions of tiny creatures. If you ever feel alone, like, go outside and go look in the dirt and you'll find some roly-polies. And you go look at the sky and you'll find a grackle, or maybe a cuter bird, or like, you know, an owl or a raven or a cardinal or something like that. So we also have the Magician in reverse. I feel like this person was they were convincing you out of your star power, out of your, like, what you know to be true, that you have complete control over your life. So embrace that. Embrace your magician role. Embrace your role as the master manifester, that you are the King of Pentacles, that you have, like, you're tapped in. You are tapped into spirit. And maybe this person is also, like, they could also be maybe sending you some, like, bad juju, some evil eye, some mal ojo, and, you know, you are protected from it. Just call in your guides, you know, maintain that, say, you know, I call in my guides to protect me. Everything that is sent towards me bounces off my energetic shield and is returned to the sender 3 times fold. So it only gets to you if you allow it to get to you, if you want it to get to you. So it won't. You're protected. Rest in that protection. You know, you are the King of Pentacles. You can have your eyes closed. You don't need to be on the lookout for enemies or anything. Like, this person has no power over you because you are the Queen of Swords, because you sit in your own energy, because you're not afraid to make the hard decisions and to enact boundaries and to enforce those boundaries. Like, also, I feel like, you know, the Two of Swords, like, she's creating an X over her chest. Like, you can't get any farther than that. This is as far as I'm going to let this shit go. This is as far as this dynamic is going to happen. Like, you're not getting any physically closer to me and my energy and my abundance, right? I am stopping this now. And with the Page of Pentacles, like, especially after the Magician, like, you have such major manifesting power. Ask for what you want from the universe. Ask for what you need. Like, I feel like whatever you need, whenever something comes up that you need, like, let's say you need to fix, like, something in your car, you need new tires, or you need some money to get some groceries, you are able to manifest that money. It seems like magic, right? It seems like it comes out of thin air. Like, it kind of, with this, it seems like it just kind of comes down from the air to rest in your hands. And, you know, you have that power. So you got the Page of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. I really feel like you need to know, Spirit is saying, do not be afraid to leave the situation. We will give you everything you need to be independent. Don't stay in something because of the physical world. Like, the physical world is just a reflection of the spiritual. You know, we see it as so concrete. And, like, also, you know, we see it as like it's physical. Everything's physical. Everything's so tough to move. And there's all these laws, and how could I possibly manifest money? You know, there's the economy, there's rules. Like, money doesn't just grow on trees. But remember that, like, the physical world that we see is just one aspect, right? We see one side of, like, a dodecahedron. And, you know, if you actually go into the science, like, nothing is actually concrete. Everything is made up of atoms, which is basically just empty space, right? We never actually touch something. We never actually interact with something. Everything is space, and within that space, there's room for magic. So call in your magic. Be delusional. Give yourself affirmations that I am abundant. God will provide me everything I need. I don't have any fear. Retrieval. You're retrieving yourself. This relationship that you've been in, maybe in the past, was, an ending. You're ending it. You're moving on. Okay, so let me start with the retrieval. This relationship was, you know, taking you out of yourself, making you second guess yourself. Not letting you live your life the way that you wanted to live. Whether that be through financial responsibilities, maybe caretaking responsibilities. Maybe, I feel like this person was just kind of stealing your like, innocence, your childlike whimsy. But this is an ending. Like, right over the Two of Swords. This is an ending. And, you know, talk to your guides about it. Help them give you the strength. Because, like I was saying with the Queen of Swords, like, this person has, you know, butterfly wings. And with the insects, like, maybe connect to insects. If you've never done that before, like, they're pretty cool. I love the movie Phenomena with Jennifer Connelly, where she controls insects. Maybe watch that if you like horror movies. yeah, like trust in what your goals are. 25 and 52. Get back to what your actual goals are. I feel like maybe they tried to tell you that your goals were silly. Like maybe you want to take taekwondo lessons. Maybe you want to get into BJJ, or you want to take like aerial silk lessons, or your goal is always to travel or just to have chickens. Like I feel like this person was like, be serious. They wanted you to get realistic. They wanted you to, get your head out of the clouds. But your head was meant to be in the clouds, right? Your head was meant to be above, because when you're in the clouds, you can see everything below. And you are, closer to God, closer to heaven. So let your head be in the clouds and dream about the life that you want, because it is yours. It's waiting for you. You are running away. You are saying, I choose to leave the situation, and leaving the forest that this relationship has had on me, like in my psyche. Like I feel like this is the part of you that you are retrieving that was lost in the woods of like fear and toxic relationships, and you are following your intuition out of it. Especially, you've got the shadow here, 31. They had you in your shadow, right? They were trying to convince you that your shadow was actually who you were. And it is part of you, but the shadow is just the opposite of the light. And you deserve to live in that light. And yeah, our shadow is important, and there's always a time for everything, but I feel like this time of you living in your shadow, of like being triggered often, of not being emotionally regulated, is ending. And it's because you were in this environment that wasn't serving you. That was nothing can ever force you to be in a certain way, right? We all have free will. We all have, the ability to choose how we act, but there's definitely environments that are not conducive for us to staying in our true self, staying in our light and our abundance and our connection with our higher selves and our spirit. So I think this is saying it's a good time. Confront that shadow. Talk to it. Look at what your life is right now and where you want to be. Focus on the goals. Like, what does your dream life look like? Does it include this person, if you're being honest with yourself? Do some reflection. Your shadow is trying to tell you something, Maybe you're experiencing a lot of anger right now, like I was. Oh, let's see. Tiger. And the light. Wow. The light is coming back in. The light of your life is coming back in. You were in the shadow, and now you're in the light. And the tiger, the tiger is like an emperor, an empress. They are not worried about what other people think of them. They just do what they want to do. And they're also beautiful. Like, their stripes are so iconic. Don't be afraid to show your stripes. Don't be afraid to shine light onto your stripes. And I feel like also because the tiger is like pretty, what's the word? Like, very eye-catching. And I think this person, this relationship, this situation wanted you to not show your stripes. They wanted to keep your stripes in shadow so that you looked like a normal cat. Like, you look like a normal black cat that fit in with all the other normal cats. But you're not a normal cat. You're a freaking tiger. So shine that light. Bring all this stuff that's been in the past into the light. Maybe you haven't been expressing this toxic relationship to your friends, but all this is ending. You are choosing to bring it. Okay. Tigers are some of the most recognizable cats in the world. They are territorial and mostly solitary, but are social creatures when they go hunting. Diverse cultures fear their ferocity and view tigers as a formidable force. Many people call upon tiger energy to overcome obstacles and reclaim personal power. That is you. You are overcoming this obstacle. And you're reclaiming your power. This person was zapping your power. This person was using bad thought forms to get your power for themselves, right? The Ace of Cups. They were siphoning your emotional energy. But you're taking it back. You're saying, no more. This is the ending. Call upon Tiger when you're dealing with adverse situations that need your assistance. Show your strength and don't back down until you know when things are in your favor. Overcome adversity through personal power. Exert a strong will to push through tough times. Yeah. Be strong. Rely on your strength. You are so strong. You've had to be strong to deal with all this BS. Like, don't, have self-doubt. And I know that self-doubt is very easy to fall into. But you are strong. You will survive this. It's guaranteed you will survive this. This whole situation was never meant for you. This is not the end-all be-all of your life. This is just like, this is like your origin story. This is the release that you need to start living your life as the tiger. Okay, the light. The goddess of the day holds her arms up to the light of the sun. She gives reverence to the life-sustaining rays which bring heat and light. The sun sets the world ablaze, illuminating every part and every corner. Nothing escapes the fire. She brings happiness and illumination to the land. Wake up. It is time to get to work. Begin putting your desires into motion. You can achieve anything you set your heart to in this light. You may feel exposed by the brightness. It is all right. Let the anxiety pass. You've got this. Everything is as it should be. Give unto the desires of the light and grow. Praise the day. Know you are on the right path. Yeah, this is your right path. This is the right path that Spirit always wanted for you. You are so strong, and everything is going to come to light. Like, all of the bullshit, all of the microaggressions, the ways they were taking advantage of you, the ways that you were maybe supporting them. I feel like this person's not emotionally intelligent. They were probably like saying snide comments that they thought that you weren't seeing, that you weren't picking up on. But all of this is going to come to light. And all you have to do is shine a light on it, right? All you have to do is speak your truth. Just let the truth out there and it'll do the rest of the work, right? And in the meantime, this is very heavy energy. So in the meantime, like, focus on the goals, like focus on the changes that you're happy to make in your life. Like, what have you been putting off? Maybe some passions you had when you were younger that you've lost in this relationship, you've lost in all of this, heavy, gunky energy. Focus on that. Focus on your joy, what brings you joy, what you want to accomplish. Like, and you'll know if it's a real goal and that's aligned with your heart space, because it'll feel good. It'll feel exciting. Your heart will be on fire. Like, this is all karma. Like, this is all things that that your soul needed to work through, right? Because you needed to learn your own personal power. You needed to get to this breaking point of like, I am done with this shit. I am done with being taken advantage of. I am done of living a life for these other people, whoever they may be, family, friends. I was getting heavy like relationship energy, so I do feel like this is a lover or a partner for a lot of people, but this could also be friendships. This could also be parents, especially if you're still living with your parents. This could be a mentor. Could be a workplace, whatever thing that you've been debating, whatever choice you've been debating, you know what this is. And it's the right move. Leave that situation. Endings have to happen for beginnings to begin. So that's what I have for you. I really hope that this resonated with you. I know it resonated with me. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. And I just want to remind you, you are so brave and so strong. And all of this is small potatoes. It's not your monkey, not your circus. All this stuff that this other person or other people is dealing with, like their responsibilities, their trauma, that is for themselves to heal. And it's difficult because, we want to heal people, especially people we're close to. We want to make it better for them, but it's impossible. They have to heal it themselves. They have to. It's their responsibility. And I do feel like maybe you stayed because you wanted to help them, but it's only brought you down. It's only dragged you down. So it's time to leave and to live life for yourself. And that life is going to be so beautiful. Damn, it's going to be beautiful. And it's going to be perfectly attuned to you and what you want out of life. So anyway, thank you so much. Bye.